Hi there and welcome to this brief overview video for Orange Tree Sample's Evolution Songwriter guitar. This library runs in both Contact Full and Contact Player versions 5.6.8 and upwards. It's an exhaustively sampled version of the Gibson J45 guitar, a very popular steel string acoustic guitar, and it's perfect for recreating a classic and versatile tone that's very easy to mix. In fact, every sound you hear on this track is created by Evolution Songwriter. The instrument is 11.2 gigabytes in raw sample size, and it's been sampled as cleanly as possible to give a pristine sound which can be made more characterful by using the onboard options and effects. More about those later. Each string has been recorded individually to make a library of over 13,000 samples with multiple articulations, round robins and dynamic layers. This is the type of guitar tone that excels at straight up acoustic instrumental lines, so let's take a listen. That's the initial patch with default settings, but there are lots of presets which use different playback parameters in the setup menu and outboard effects accessed via the tone menu. This is one of the many vintage sounding presets designed to be a shortcut to a few different guitar timbres from iconic years gone by, from 1967 to 1982. It's a great example of some of the features specific to Evolution Songwriter, including the tape signal path with an adjustable noise floor. This is a whole second set of samples that have been run through a Porter Studio cassette tape machine, which adds bags of character. The natural tuning fluctuations of the tape machine have also been retained, which makes this sound really authentic. You'll also notice that this vintage sounding preset has the fretting position set to 14 for a playing style higher up the neck of the guitar. And it's also double tracked. Of course, all of these settings and many more can be adjusted. For those familiar with other guitars from Orange Tree Samples, the Evolution engine will be second nature, but let's have a quick look at some of the basics. The main play page is for general playing and selecting articulations. There's also a strumming engine, chord recognition system, and of course the tone and setup menus, which I've briefly touched on already. On the play page there are a number of articulations, and each can be mapped to trigger on a particular velocity range, user-definable key switch, sustain pedal press, a random percentage of the time, or pretty much any other MIDI controller value. For example, if I wanted the grace note up articulation controlled by the sustain pedal, it's easy to set up. Or maybe it should be triggered randomly, 20% of the time. That's also very easy to dial in. Common techniques like hammer-ons, pull-offs and other incidental effects are triggered automatically by the engine. There's also a 2-octave selection of knocks and effects triggered by the keys at the top of the keyboard just here. And you can use these to embellish your phrases. Just then you'll have also heard the 2 keys at the bottom of the keyboard being used to perform up and down strokes of a previously played chord. This means that you can just hold a chord and use those 2 keys to strum up and down. The harder you press the keys, the more notes of the chord are played. There are more options for automatic strumming patterns in the chord menu. Here you can decide whether the strumming engine uses your own held notes, custom chords, or realistic automatic chords based on your playing. There are lots of new strumming presets included with Evolution Songwriter, which can be loaded in just here. Or you can create your own with the interface matrix here by selecting articulations and choosing strum length, direction and velocity. The Strum engine has other options too, such as length, beat division, and swing. Of course, if you just want to play in chords yourself and use the play menu to set up your own combination of articulations, then that's a great option too. Lastly, a quick look at some of the effects in the tone menu. There's also a brand new spring reverb effect with 10 new models. This is in addition to legacy effects such as distortion, tremolo, wah-wah, EQ, compression, chorus, flanger, reverb, delay, and amp and cabinet modelling. That's just a little taster of Orange Tree Sample's Evolution Songwriter, which is poised to become your go-to steel string acoustic library. Make sure to browse to www.orangetreesamples.com to listen to the other demos and hear more of this expressive acoustic guitar in action. And thanks so much for watching.